Good evening. Let's make sure everything's working okay. Hello. Good evening. I hope everyone's doing well tonight. I actually didn't open up my chat window. Whoops. Oh, it's pushing an update. It happened today. I've got some pasta here. It is cold at this point, which is a bummer. But I did get to try it before it got, like, really cold. So hopefully I can see chat soon. In a few seconds, maybe? Come on, baby. Let's load up. I hope everyone is doing well. We're gonna have some flesh space video today. Be warned, you're gonna see pasta in 3, 2, 1. Pasta. Yes, my balance is totally blown out, and I've kind of given up on tweaking it because I had it perfect and then something happened with like auto exposure and it just went whoop. Nope, not today. So that's fun. That's great. We love that. We love auto exposure being so helpful. All right, we can close our Steam window, but it's gonna be a very chill stream tonight. I am gonna eat my pasta and knit, work on a project I'm working on. Home. Shells are the way to go, except I got medium shells, and these were listed as medium. But I think they're a little bigger than medium. They're like medium large. I'll give you a little heart. Those look nice, thanks. It's pasta. So the normal grocery store I get my pasta sauce from, because I get store brand. I don't go to there anymore because it's kind of out of the way, and you know it's a couple galaxies away, and I'm not gonna ship pasta sauce to my house. That's silly. So I'm trying to find one that I like because I'm very picky about my pasta sauce. And like, I'll finish this, but I think at the end of the day, I'm not gonna buy this pasta sauce again. So that's probably the negative there. Let me see if I can increase the size of chats here. Hey, there we go. I can see chat better. Num 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 num. It's good. I agree. I have my notes here, so you will be able to see my notes. So we have Mazzetta pasta sauce, and it comes in like... I don't know why I'm drawing it. Why am I drawing it? It comes in like a jar, like all pasta sauces do, and it has like a Mazzetta here, and then like a little tomato here, and then like something there, and then information. But so my thing is and of course autofocus is like, no. Autofocus who? I don't know her. Hopefully you can see that okay. The knitting's gonna be the important part. But the sauce is chunky. I don't like a chunky tomato sauce. Thankfully, the tomato chunks aren't too solid. I've had ones where the tomato chunks are just like really hard, and I don't like that. So hopefully that's good. Also, I hope the audio is okay. I changed a couple of settings to try and remove some like background buzzing that showed up a little bit, and I hope that helps. And then it's flavorful, but it's very basil heavy sauce, which I like a basil heavy sauce, but it needs the garlic to balance it out. How old am I? You're asking how old I am. Old enough to know how to pay my taxes. and to pay them. I paid them. Did you do your taxes? Did you get them done? Isn't the tax deadline like the 14th for the United States? Can I get mod? Nope, we're not giving out mod. And then the sauce is a little thin. It kind of just like dissolved when the beef was added to it. So that's today's. I'll label it for 125. And then I'm gonna write out what I need to do next for my knitting pattern. So row 2, K1, P1, repeat, 3, P1 knit 3, P1, K3, 4, P3, 5, K1, P1. I mean, I think this is just the loop of these rows. Maybe not. No, I'll write them all out. It's fine. I'll follow the directions properly. Jiggle physics? Yeah, I hope the physics are okay. I just adjusted some stuff. Because I realized once again I was using the wrong model. And I had to go in and change a bunch of settings. I had to change the curve for blinking so I can wink and blink. Row 6 is K1, P1. Wait, is this the same thing? Oh, it is. So that's... Okay. 7, K2, P1, K3, P2. I'm trying to like get this pattern written out because it's simple, but I don't have it fully written yet. Whoops. Do I have chat on the screen? Yeah, I do. Okay. How do I want to do this? I'm trying to figure out how I want to lay out my desktop so I can read chat quickly. I'm not used to not needing it for a game, so it's a little weird for me, but I think this will work so I can still see how everything looks. How much for a face reveal? Priceless. The best you get is some that's the best you get. If you look back at the knitting VODs, there's a thumb reveal. One thumb. Just one. Nothing else. Alright, so this is P1, K1, P, that's a B, P3, repeat, K1, P2, and repeat. So this should make like a diamond pattern in the knitting. So it'll be something like that. It's called a seersucker pattern. Or something like that, seersucker. Hopefully, okay, my phone's not showing. Whoops. And this is an 80 stitch pattern. Cast on. 80 stitch cast on. Multiple of 4. No extra stitches. No border. My beautiful handwriting. So beautiful. Oh, thank you for the sub. Leonin, welcome in. They're smooching. And they're deeply in love. Oh, you guys can't see that. There you go. Tusar, welcome in. Thank you for the sub. I normally stream video games like Battlefield, Dark and Darker, Elden Ring, you know, sweaty gamer stuff. But sometimes I have a day where my brain just doesn't want to work. And today's one of those days, so I'm just gonna knit and eat my pasta. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh no. It was a hard bit. It's so cold. It took me so long to set up stream. Mm-hmm. Become the richest person in the world, but have no access to any delicious food. Or eat any delicious food. I mean, I'd rather eat any delicious food. Because as long as I'm not the richest person in the world, I get to eat any delicious food. I mean, I think I'd choose being poor and eating delicious food. You can see where my priorities lie. Like, I've probably thought about this too much, but I got diagnosed with ADHD in my 20s, and my family just kind of ignored it my whole life growing up and was like, nah, that's not a thing. And it was something I struggled with a lot, especially related to food and like getting actual dopamine and hormones from, not hormones, but like getting like feel-good chemicals from food. So I used to have a really bad relationship with food, and I still can on occasion, but like if I was very depressed or if I was feeling out of sorts, food would be like the thing that I would relate to and like get way too emotionally attached to. And like if I had a bad meal, it would really mess me up. But now I just kind of appreciate when there is good food, but food is also fuel, and it's what makes my body run, and it's a much better relationship. But I still don't stop myself from eating ice cream. I just try to make it healthier. I fucking love ice cream, guys. I love it so much. Mm-hmm. But oh my god, we're practically a food stream at this point with how much I talk about it. Mm. Mm-hmm. I'd also say this pasta sauce does not hold up cold. I'm adding that to the list. Does ice cream love me? I don't think I'm lactose intolerant, so I suppose that counts. I almost think that sauce is okay for pizza, but yeah. Alright, so we're on row 2. 1P1. I'm going to write down the first row so I don't forget. Let's knit. So this is a super chunky yarn. I'll try and make sure that I have things so you all can see. And I have super chunky needles. And I am gonna scooch this so I can read chat better. I'm young when I'm tall. I'm old when I'm short. What am I? I mean, a human. Humans get short when they're old. The spine compresses. Right? Humans count. Buildings. And if we talk about the decay of time, they collapse eventually. And they get shorter. It's a candle. I like my answers better. Oh shit. I'm already doing this wrong. Hey yo. Alright, so we gotta go. That was a knit stitch. We gotta go over. We gotta bring her over to the front. This is our working yarn here. It's hard to knit with gloves on. Trader Joe's pizza sauce? I think it's okay. It's okay. I'll give it that. I like pizza sauce that has a sugary fake taste, okay? I like Domino's pizza sauce. A hole gets bigger the more you take away. Did I get that one right? Does my neurodivergent brain succeed at this one? Hey Dragon, how's it going? Welcome to the stream where I talk about pasta sauce and knit. Or attempt to knit with gloves on. Frick? Did I guess the wrong thing again? But technically correct. Yay! I'm good at puzzles. Tee-hee-hee. Tee-hee-hee-hee-hee. So we're just alternating a knit and a purl stitch. This is like a super, super chunky yarn. I honestly don't know if I would recommend like a chunky, fuzzy yarn to start knitting. I'm gonna pull my gloves up. I might swap to my other gloves. I feel like these are a little tight. Let me see if I can. Oh, they're both here. Da, 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 da. Unfortunately, I never fixed the tactical gloves. Kim, welcome back. How are you? Welcome to the knitting stream. These have little flowers on them. Yeah, they're a little tighter. So they should fit better. What's full of holes but still holds water? Cheese. Technically. Although I guess it depends on the cheese. A sponge also. I play Minecraft. Good. I'm trying to find a new brand of pasta sauce that I like. Tomato basil. A sponge isn't right? A sponge is full of holes but still holds water. A person with bullet holes? What? Yeah. Big brain. Big brain. Cheese. Was that a knit, purl, knit, purl, knit? We are on a purl. Yeah, I would not recommend a super fuzzy yarn for beginners because it's really hard to see your stitches on this. That's the issue I run into is like sometimes I can't tell whether I knit or purl. So a purl means you're bringing the yarn to the front. Your working yarn is here. And then pulling it through. A knit, your working yarn is in the back on your needle you're pulling from. And you push it through the back of your loop. And you pull your working yarn through. And off. And that's a knit stitch. Great. Knit and purl stitches. That's exactly how... Men. The answer to Leonard's question is men. What? I'm kidding. That's a tough one. My brain keeps rerouting to mail, but mail does arrive. Like postage. What is always coming but never arrives? Oh, yeah, I was about to say sunrise. So I think I was like two logic leaps away from getting it. You know? We're almost there. Yeah. Knit, pearl. Did I do 2 pearls? I did. What is... I can't tell what I'm looking at anymore. Knit, pearl, knit, pearl, knit, pearl, knit, pearl, knit, pearl. Okay. We're good. We're good. Yeah, again, hard to see your stitches. If it's a normal yarn, you can kind of see the definition between the stitches. But Joanne's fabric is going out of business, and that means that I got really cheap yarn. So, we'll take what we can get. Da, 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 da. I'm a tool with a pointy end, and I help the yarn to descend. I can be metal or wood. And I hear you knit as you should. I mean, that sounds like a knitting needle. We're talking about knitting needles, right? They come in metal and wood. I usually prefer a metal knitting needle. But this size tends to only come in wood. These are size 17. That one was easy. That one was easy peasy. Chat, be proud of me. I socialized in flesh space with my neighbors today. With people I didn't really know. And it made me really anxious. And it seems like they're a really nice person. We just don't always have a lot to say. Your right arm would be left out of being cut? I don't know. Left uninjured? Oh god, that one's corny. Oh no. This just reminds me of the 101 riddles notebook that used to be in my parents' house. So when I grew up, we had 101 riddles book that lived in the main bathroom at my parents' house for I don't know, 15 years. Just a light 15 years. Nothing big, you know? A light 15. And it was water damage from humidity or anything. But still, you don't have a cell phone, because we didn't really have cell phones until later. So you don't got a cell phone. That's your bathroom reading. It was that or the Farmer's Almanac, you know? Farmer's Almanac. I'm gonna turn my audio down a bit. Kidding. I feel like I'm yelling. Oh no. What is a python? I mean, you should be gay because it's cool. You know? What's better than smooching your bruz? It's loving your bruz and marrying them. You know? What's better than smooching your fellow soldiers in the trenches? Alright, so this is kind of how this blanket is coming together. I got like 6 skeins of yarn. And what I did was I cut them all up in different lengths. And they were all kind of like blue, purple, pink tones. A lot of them were gradiented. And there was some overlap between them because we have like a full cyan skein, and that cyan is also in one of the knit things we were doing. So what I did was I cut them all up and then I tied them together with the quote unquote magic knot. So that it's just one super huge ball of yarn. It is literally bigger than my cat. It is bigger than my head. It is bigger than a beach ball. And yeah, I'm working from that. It does get lumps every now and then that can cause issues, but that's why I got larger needles so that it doesn't cause too many lumps. Yeah, and society shouldn't say that. And that's why I go into FPS game group chats, and when people argue in the chat, I tell them to kiss each other and make up. That's what I do for society. Yeah, it's totally unfair. Is our objective views on same-sex relationships as a society. But I think that's mainly because our objective views on gender are, for most people, fairly inflexible and rigid. And honestly, as soon as you start viewing it more flexibly, you tend to be more accepting of other people. Well, Dragon. Chat is not on the screen for some reason. Let me see why chat's not on the screen. Why is chat not on the screen? Huh? Maybe I gotta redo the link. Give me a second. Yeah, we're streaming on YouTube and Twitch. So we're on both. But let me see if I can fix this. For some reason, chat said no. Probably because I started streaming before I opened the chat window. So let's do this. Yeah. Yeah, why are you not showing up, chat? What's going on? My chat application updated. There is Phone Aspect YouTube, but I stream in Phone Aspect YouTube and Vertical YouTube. We do both, and I'm now praying that there's not something broken. But hello! Be gone, bot. Yeah, I did have chat up on both screens, but I guess it's not going. What's good, admin? What's good? We are talking and knitting and hanging out. Having a good time. Yeah, it does have separate chat, but I have something that merges them together. It's just not working for some reason. Let me... Because OBS, sometimes with OBS, I have to, like, delete the window, which sucks. What did I just delete? I think I deleted it there. And then I have to remake it. It's just such a bummer, honestly. I love when OBS breaks. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. Let's do browser source. Chato. Chat ni. Say words. Ah, there you are. Hello, chat. Look, there's everyone. We're all here. Yay! At least we're here on horizontal mode. And then we'll fix that. Hopefully this is okay for everyone. I'll probably scooch it over a bit. What disappears before something is born? I mean, the pregnant woman? I guess. When a baby is born, the woman is no longer pregnant. Pregante. Pregante. My biological tag. I'm being trolled. Have a good one. Thank you for the riddles. It was fun. Alright, let me scooch chat over here. I don't know where chat's going for this, so we're just gonna scooch you there. I don't know why, but that's where chat's going today for vertical YouTube. It's gonna be really, really tiny. Oh, nah. Oh, nah. Don't worry. Don't worry. We're just getting riddles. We've been getting riddles in chat. I got a lot of them, but, yeah. Let me move chat down. There we go. There we go. That one admin is dying. They're done for. It's all ogre now. Da, 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 da. Alright, so we just did a knit stitch, bring it back around for a purl stitch. And you know what's crazy is I have like long individual needles, right? You're gonna see it come into frame and it's just gonna be like we're still going, there's more needle. That's how long it is. I can show you how long it is. It is 10 millimeters. I don't know if that's length. I don't think that's length. But I have straight needles that I started this project on. Well, and I thought that I would be able to fit more stitches on straight needles than circular needles. But it turns out I was wrong. I can fit a longer blanket on circular needles. What does one pursue when one needs to leave? A taxi. The check. The bathroom. The bathroom, where our 101 Riddles book lives. Oh, purl knit, purl knit. I'm second guessing myself now. It's too fluffy. Da, 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 da. The milk. Oh my gosh. Be your own dad. Bring your own milk home. Find a random man at the grocery store and go, "Are you my dad?" if they're holding milk. Don't do that. If you're young and impressionable, please don't do that. That doesn't actually work and it's not funny. Don't bother other people in public. That's scary. Yeah. Bye bye. Thanks for stopping by. We are making crafts. We are crafting so furious. I always have trouble finding like a good tension, and everybody's like, oh, I have a trick for this, or I have an item that you should buy. That's most of the time what you find for tensioning your yarn. But I feel like if I keep the same placement of my hands for tension, because I have it kind of like this right now, I still just my brain is not working. I just kind of like, I don't know, I overstrain my fingers and then they start shaking too much. So but one thing that helps me with knitting is I try to move my right hand more and keep moving from my elbow rather than my wrist, so that I don't injure myself. Because knitting doesn't have to give you carpal tunnel if you do it correctly. And take breaks. Breaks are important. Hey, Donovan! Welcome in. Good evening. Welcome to knitting, and we had some spaghetti for dinner, and we answered some riddles that Leonin gave us, so having a good day. Hanging out. I've got my large, colorful yarn that I'm very clumsily knitting. I'm not like an elegant granny. I just have my like pile of stuff. I'm throwing the working yarn in front of me to see if that's any better, because right now it's like pinned under my booba. So this is gonna be a blanket. I think I'm gonna need to do like 2 of these, because right now it's in a loop while I'm working it. But it's essentially like one long sheet that I want to have I think I can show you. It's gonna have like a diamond pattern, like here. So this is the general pattern for a seersucker pattern, which is like diamonds. So these will be like puffed up on one side of a diamond. Now the light's not showing that. But it's gonna be like puffed up in these patterns. That's the plan. We'll see if it comes out that way, but it's a simple enough pattern that I'm not gonna hurt my brain trying to remember it. I was trying to do a lacework pattern before with like gaps in it, but the yarn I'm using is so fluffy. It was like it didn't even matter. You couldn't tell. What is knitting? Are you asking what we're working on, or what is knitting in general? So knitting is when you take fabric and you weave it within each other to form an interlocking pattern. So you'll see, look, there's a little loop I can stick my finger through. Look, a little loop. Look, a little loop. There's a lot of them, because this is very thick yarn. And your basic knit stitch, we're gonna learn how to knit. So generally, if you want to start a project, you're going to cast on. And what you're going to do is you're going to take yarn. Doesn't matter if it's on an end or something, but you're going to make a little loop with your fingers and like cross over itself. You see, it's a little loop, and you're just going to tighten it around. And that's how you cast on. So you just keep doing that a bunch. Generally, people start with a slip knot for a cast on. So you make a slip knot, and then you keep making those loops. To about the length of or width of your project. For me, it goes in a circle because this is all on a string. You can see, so that it's a little easier to use. But it's gonna be a blanket, a fuzzy blanket for my friend. Whenever I finish it, because I wanted like a super chunky project to work on, out of like the millions of projects that I haven't finished. Like a smart person. I don't even know Well, that's clearly a pearl, knit, stitch. Hopefully. I wouldn't, again, I don't recommend using a chunky yarn for one of your first projects. At least not one that is fuzzy or like has a texture to it. I would stick to a standard yarn because the smoother your yarn is when you're learning, the easier it is to differentiate between your stitches. So I'm essentially doing knit and purl stitches. So if you hear grandma's going knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, or like knit 1, purl 1, knit 2, purl 2, something like that. Sometimes it's helpful to do it in a rhythm, but it just means you're changing the direction that you're pulling the yarn through the fabric or through the loop. So a knit stitch is you have your working yarn. So this is coming from the ball of yarn right here. And then you have either your cast on row or you're working, like your project that you're pulling from that you need to still do on the left side. And for a knit stitch, you just go through a loop with the needle on your right side. So it comes through the loop on the back. Wrap it over. So it's through, wrapped over, and you're pulling that yarn through to the front. And then you pull it a little extra so that it's not super tight. And then you pull that loop you just pulled through off. And there you go. That's a knit stitch. Purl stitch, literally just the opposite direction. So you're bringing your yarn over to the front. It may already be there if you're continuing to do purls. But if you're coming from a knit stitch, you have to pull it over to the front. So my working yarn is now in the front. I'm pushing through from the back of the loop to the front instead of this way. So I'm going up through the front, over, working yarn goes over, and then pulling it through the loop in the front. And you do the same thing, you pull it off. And knitting, whether you want to make a scarf or a blanket or something with like a pattern on it, it is literally just those 2 stitches into eternity for the most part, or some variation on them. The variations would be like, if I wanted to, say, make like a triangle pattern of fabric, what I would do is start decreasing. And what that means is I would start stitching multiple stitches together. So I would pick up maybe 2 stitches at once and knit them with 1 new loop, like that. And that means the 2 stitches become 1 stitch on the thing. But I don't want to decrease because I want this to be just a strip of fabric. And the pattern I'm working on is a seersucker pattern, which I think is one of the easier patterns to learn. It's like diamond patterns almost. I think it can look pretty good. And it gives some texture to things without it having to be like a cable knit, which do not be afraid of cable knitting. If you're like, I love the look of cable knits and I want to learn how to knit, but that sounds really scary and it's going to take forever to get to it. It's not. It's not at all. All you literally have to do is learn how to rib knit, which is super easy. Super easy. We just went over knits and purls. Rib knit is literally just 3 knit stitches and then 3 purl stitches, because the knit stitches will be recessed back and the purl stitches kind of create bumps on one side. And you're essentially creating like one side that has a raised area and then the purl stitches next to it will be lower down or something like that. Also, you'll notice if you flip over your work at all, and this is a very bad yarn to explain it with, but if you were to look at a piece of knitting that is entirely knit stitches, you would find that the back of it looks like a purl stitch because the back of a knit stitch is a purl stitch. So if you look at, and I don't have a great example here. I have my coaster, which I don't think I'll be able to show you because it's very beat up and probably a little wooled at this point. Now I can show you a little bit. So this is some finger DK weight fingering wool. Yeah, that sounds so bad. that sounds so bad. I don't like that. Finger weight. It's very thin wool that they use for like socks and stuff, blankets. But I have a bunch of it because I wanted a bunch of colors, and I impulse bought yarn, as I always do. And you can sort of see the raised area. So these raised sections of lines are lines of knit stitches. And then you can see how they go up and down like this. And then next to it is something that goes almost perpendicular to it, horizontal. It's going to be so hard to see, guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, so that's the knit stitch there. And then I think in between it is one purl stitch. But knit stitches will make these like V's. And then if you go back onto the other side, where those raised areas are, there's the horizontal bumps. So this works as a two-sided pattern because wherever I did those purl stitches is now knit stitches on this side. So the pattern kind of continues. It just looks mirrored. Yeah. So that's my bad example of it. I think Revolt has oh my god, my boobs just broke. They just broke. The darn tits are broken again. You gotta take them to the machine shop. Fix them up. But I would also recommend... I quite like this book. I like books for knitting. I like having something to reference. This may not go well, but 400 Stitches by Pottercraft. I like this because this helped me learn in increments how to knit, which I can probably... Let me make sure there's nothing important on that. Oh, wait. What is... So, I'm glad I did look at that. Shows how useful that was. I had something that I wanted to write where I was in my knitting down on in here as like a marker, right? I think I was on like lace work or something. And I pulled it out just to make sure like my address or something wasn't on it. And I looked at it. That's why I cackled. Because, yes, there was personal information on it. Because it's a reply letter from my local government official to an inquiry that I made. That did not help me at all and was pretty useless. And it's on very, very nice paper because I sent my correspondence on very nice paper. And I felt like they took that personally. So instead of fixing my problem, they sent me a very nice reply letter, which I then proceeded to use as scrap paper in my knitting book because it was useless. I'm still keeping it though. It's hilarious. I feel like this is going to be like... This stuff is going to be like... I don't know, historical artifacts at some point. But sometimes life be like that. But yeah, I like that it has like sections for saying what your stitch is and examples of how it's going to look. And they all kind of look the same. There's a little page glare. But you can see how like on yarn that looks the same texture and isn't super fluffy, it's much easier to figure out what you're looking at. And you can get some really, like, these are just literally all alternating knit and purls. This is what we're working on now, seersucker stitch. So this is what we're doing. Yeah. And what else? What else? Yeah, there's a whole bunch. And as you get advanced, you get to cables. So this is actually just... Let me explain. Let me see if I can find a rib knit. This is like the first thing you learn, so it'll be in the front. Yeah, so these are rib knits. This is kind of a rib. This is like a chunky one. But it's essentially knit stitches and then purl stitches, knit stitches, purl stitches. And that creates this like zigzag. It also helps make your knitting like stretchy, which is nice. I like the stretchiness of it. But the what you think of knitting, cable knit, is pretty much just, there's some color work in here. Color work is the term used when people do like black and white or like green and red, and you see like patterns. Like if you think of Christmas sweaters with like reindeer on them. But here's a large cable knits. Let me see if the exposure is not going to break. It is literally a rib knit, except it's just one all the way here, and then they switch to so it's pearls all the way across the whole time, and then they switch to a knit stitch here where it's raised, and then on this one row where you see the twist, because they're going doot 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 doot, that's how they go up. You go across, and then you flip your work and you do the next row, right? So when they get to this one in the middle, all they do is they knit like half of the stitches. So I think in this case it's 6, so they're knitting 3 stitches. Wait, no, what they're doing is they're taking 3 stitches and they're putting them on like a little hooked needle that looks like that. And the stitches sit there, and they just put it to the side, and then they knit the next 3 and go back and knit the 3 that they skipped. So what that does is it just kind of crosses the stitches and creates the cable twist that you're looking at. And then it gets like real fancy and advanced, and there's stuff like this. I like this one. You should try this one. This one's cool. It looks like it's going to be a nightmare though. A little bit. Fancy ones here. Yeah. And they get, also, sometimes you see like crazy patterns. Hopefully this looks like this. I still don't know how to decipher these. I've been knitting for like a year and a half, and I still don't know how to decipher these things. Because everyone does them a little bit different, and I still find them to be somewhat difficult. I would rather have a written pattern, which is like this, where it says KP, KP, because the actual line markings determining K and P make much more sense. There's just a lot of shorthands that you have to remember. I'm getting fuzzes everywhere. So, knitting books, helpful to have. I have a Vogue one that is like the recommended knitting book, and it's like a coffee table book. But I find that to be a little complex for me. So this one's a good one. Ones that literally show you, and a lot of people are like, oh, you should start with a washcloth. I hated that idea, but it's also a good way to start. I would say, personally, if you want to practice a stitch in knitting, make tiny washcloths, essentially. Coasters. I find that wool works as a fantastic coaster because it does absorb a little bit of the moisture, but it also like airs out really well because it's knit and there's holes in it. It can lose its shape and felt up a little bit, so I have lost a little bit of detail on here, but it was really great for practicing patterns and learning. Yeah. So that's my knitting rant. I'm gonna eat a cold pasta noodle. Oh, it's gonna be so cold. That's so cold. Oh no. Oh, this sauce is not good cold. Mm-mm. I'm sad. It's not good cold. Like, some pasta sauces you can just eat cold and they're great. Cold pizza? Love cold pizza. I made a really, really good ham and pineapple pizza over the weekend. This ain't it. Mm-hmm. Alright. Pasta has been defeated. Back to knitting. Yeah, that ain't it, Chief. The search continues. Perhaps next stream we will assess another pasta sauce brand. I was gonna do it all at once. So I was gonna have an entire stream dedicated to pasta sauce tasting. And then I realized I don't want that many pasta sauces open at once, because I am far pickier with my pasta sauce than Revolt is. So I feel like there would be a ton of pasta sauces in my fridge open that I just wouldn't eat. I just would not touch them, which would be bad. Because if it's like one meal worth, I can deal with it. But if I'm expected to eat pasta sauce that I don't like for multiple days in a row, you can't make me. I love one thing that's been good is like knitting and crochet. I really like watching trash TV. Not trash TV. I've been watching High Potential or something. It's the one with Caitlin Olsen in it. The lady from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And I've been enjoying it. It is not super well written. It feels very stereotypical. But because it feels very stereotypical and the main character is kind of a hot mess, but in the fun way, it is very relaxing to watch, so I'm okay with it. It is a procedural show. You know, each episode there's something different that's going on. There's a little bit of an underlying plot between the episodes that I don't care about. It's definitely written by like a committee of people, because you watch an episode and it's literally like, hey, you would think like 2 episodes ago the main character and her, you know, super serious cop detective coworker hated each other, but came to an agreement at the end and helped each other out to solve the crime. You would think that, you know, maybe 2 episodes from then, they wouldn't hate each other as much. But no, they hate each other. Okay, is this knit? Did I do 2 knit stitches? Why do these both look like knit stitches? Purl, knit, knit. Oh, I think I missed some stuff. Let me fix it. So I'm gonna pull it off and then very carefully pull out my stitches. And then put the loops back on. Loop. But yeah, it's been a thing that I enjoy watching while I knit. Because sometimes it's very difficult to set time aside for yourself to not make things for other people. I say as I'm making a scarf for someone else, but I don't know, I guess sometimes I feel like if you're not on that grind, right? You're not grinding 24/7, making money, making plans, making bills, right? Sometimes you almost feel like you're wasting your time. Like you shouldn't be allowed to have the time to just relax and enjoy something and passively absorb information or enjoy something that's not like high quality entertainment. And knitting is kind of my way to justify like watching a TV show without needing to do something else. Like normally I would watch TV. I used to feel like I had to be drawing or working on something else, and knitting is a very like low commitment way for me to feel like I'm still doing something without really doing something and feeling very relaxed while doing it. I would say that that is the case only for projects I have already started. If I am trying to count my cast on rows, it is hell on earth, and if you start talking to me, I'm going to kill you. Reveled may or may not have been on the side of me freaking out when I lost my stitch count, or seen me recount my stitches like 30 times over before bed because I can't keep track of them. And the more complex your knitting pattern, the more that actually matters. Because if you mess up every once in a while, it's not the end of the world. It's not. Your knitting doesn't have to be perfect. You can slip stitches and it'll still look good. Especially this. This is a very forgiving. In the way that it is difficult to determine what you're actually knitting on this, it is a very forgiving fabric as far as like missing something or duplicating the wrong stitch goes. Because it's fuzzy and it's kind of hard to tell what you're doing anyway. It's just going to be a fuzzy, colorful mess by the end, which is the goal. Has Revold said something? Revold rates the pasta sauce as a 7. I'd rate it a 6. I'd rate it a 6. Bad cold. I have very strict standards for the pasta sauce in my house. Not that they're fancy or anything, but I want them to be good. Okay. Oh god. I joined a D&D group, and it's very exciting and fun to see what's going on there and talk to everybody. But everybody's like, what if I start a new campaign? What if I start a new campaign? I'm like, ah! Ah! But I'm excited. I'm gonna play, and this is, again, D&D is also something I tend to do off stream because it's just for me. It's just for me. And I generally also like playing in groups where people don't feel pressured to like be entertaining. Because I think that's how you learn and grow as a player, and you get more... I think you get more comfortable with role-playing your character when you are not trying to make content out of your D&D stuff. Because I know a lot of people get into Dungeons and Dragons and tabletop games through like Critical Role or Dimension 20 or the Adventure Zone or Adventures. There's so many. But playing Dungeons and Dragons versus making content out of it are kind of two different skills. Because to make content out of it, there's like a certain expectation among the group of quality, I think. Or at least I would hold myself to the standard that like I wanted to be like quality. So like the voice acting would have to be quality and this would have to be quality. And if you're not playing with trained actors, I think that's going to be hard to get. So again, having a comfortable space where it's a learning experience is really important for D&D. Doc, hello, good evening. Welcome to Knitting and Chatting, and we rated a pasta sauce because my safety brand of pasta sauce is kind of annoying to get now. So I am venturing out into the land of branded pasta sauces to try and find one that I like. This was not a success today. I think we had Mazzetta. Yeah. Let me see if I can... Oh, that's worse. Okay. Mazzetta pasta sauce. And it was okay. It was okay. It didn't go great with the beef in it. And it was chunkier than I'd like. I don't like chunks in my pasta sauce. And it was bad cold. So... That's my rating. Would not buy again. 6. Revold gave it a 7. Yeah, so I will be sharing with stream my feelings on the pasta sauces. Other than that, we're just working on a blanket, hanging out. Arrabbiata. That sounds fancy. Yeah, I mean, I'm keeping it strictly to, like, my go-to, I'm having a very bad day and I need food on my plate, which is tomato basil. Oh, yes, yes. Because that one has, like, crushed chili peppers in it and tomato paste, right? Yeah, I've heard of that. If we're talking, like, sauces, I really like, the Barilla Genovese pesto, the creamy pesto. I'm pretty sure it has cashews in it. I'd have to double check it, but I'm pretty sure it has like blended cashews. But yeah, I'm very picky with my pasta sauces. Like, I will be like, it's too acidic, it's too chunky, it's too oniony. So, like, trying to find one I like is very difficult. Because I really, like, I crave spaghetti a lot, I crave pasta, but... comfort sauces. But I'll probably, I don't know if I'm back on my cacio de pepe or black pepper parmesan pasta. John. One thing I do like about this yarn, though, is it's so squishy that when you get in the flow of it, it just kind of feels like you're, like, squishing a stuffed animal. It's like, wee! Wee! It's very smooth. Alright, and it's stitch, purl stitch. Super fluffy yarn. Oh, and this is the last stitch. We're ending on a purl, so that means we're right. Alright, so we ended the row. Hooray! We did it. Look. It goes... We make so much in so little time. Alright. So we are on... row 3. Purl 1, knit 3. So what I'm doing is I am flipping it around. So all the yarn I just knit was in my right hand, right? Was in my right hand. So I'm swapping hands. Right hand to left hand. Whee! So we have our working yarn on the left with the thing we just finished. This connects to our ball of yarn. And if I wanted to knit, quote unquote, in the round, so if I wanted to make a tube, what I would do is not flip the yarn over. I would just keep knitting. So I would just be like this, right? If I wanted to knit in the round, quote, 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 and make a tube, I would just keep knitting onto the edge of the row. Starting the first row, probably. Starting the first row. But I don't. I want to make knitting flat, as they say. I want to make a blanket. So while this is curly now, the more that I knit and the longer this gets, the more it'll straighten out into like a rectangle. Also, this is some new circular needles because I had to get them for this project. So that means that it's still really curly on the wire. You can usually take the wire, which is here, like this wire, and some people put it over like steam or in hot water and straighten it out. I usually just deal with it, which is not the wisest decision, especially if you're doing a complex project or a large project, but it's fine. Purl 1, knit 3. Alright, so we're going to do 1 purl and 3 knit stitches and then start it all over again. I need you in the front. One purl. And knit stitches. I feel like my knit stitches are much tighter on this project than I expected them to be. 1, 2, 3. Bob's your uncle. And then you start over again. Usually they'll do like an asterisk stating the pattern you're going to repeat, and then state like repeat this after that. So purl 1, knit 1, knit 2, and knit 3. One thing that's helpful to be cautious of when you are knitting is sometimes if I was just working at the tips of my needles here, because it's thinner, it does help me get in the loop more, but I try to make sure I push it all the way to the widest part of the needle here, because if I just work on the tips, my yarn's going to get really, really tight. So I try to make sure I pull it a little loose from the widest point, because when you go to pull the next row, like when I finish one full loop around this, however tight they are when I put them on here, I'm gonna have to stick another needle through it when I go in for the next row. So that makes it a little difficult. So let's knit, knit, knit. So we are on to our pearls, right? Yeah. Hold my pearls. I've just got 1. And then usually I use my forefinger to like help lever the working yarn over to the other side when I need to swap between knit and purl. But that's something that it's going to be really sloppy the first couple of times you do it, which is why I recommend practicing with like coasters or practicing patterns you want to do, because even if it's something you've done before, whether you're using a different yarn or a different needle, I feel like each time I'm kind of like relearning how to hold it. So I've frogged this blanket project like twice already. Revol's yelled at me every time. She's like, can't you just finish a project? Why can't you finish it? Because it's wrong. I gotta fix it. You know? It's gotta be right. Oof. 2. I should knit more on stream, honestly. It's very selfish of me, and I hope that that's okay with everyone. But it is so relaxing. I don't know. It's like, to just like make progress on a project, it's very instantly validating because you see how far you're going, and it's kind of just like you did it right or you didn't do it right type thing. It's a very sure thing for me, which I tend to enjoy. Which is probably why I like knitting more than crochet. Like, tension matters in knitting, but you can use the needles to kind of get a consistent tension. But with crochet, I have trouble keeping the same tension, and that'll really impact how your project looks. Yeah, there's 3 and purl. This row is going to go a lot faster than the other one because I am not trying to eat pasta while I do it. Hey, welcome to the stream. I'm glad you found it. This is a very chill stream. I mean, most of my streams I try to be like chill, chatting, having a good time, but I got a new little light. There's a light up there, right above. You can and working on some knitting because life is stressful, and sometimes you just gotta like work on something for you, you know? Sometimes, you know, you do what you can. I was debating, and I've said this twice this week actually because I had a migraine yesterday. But there are times where I debate canceling stream, or, you know, maybe you debate calling out of work, or you're not going to do the thing you said you were going to do. And sometimes it is good to push through it, but sometimes it's good to maybe not do it, but adjust it. Make it fit for where you're at. So if you want to do the dishes, but you don't have the energy to do the dishes, maybe you should start with just putting away the clean dishes and just start at a small step. Or, you know, making a plan for putting away the dishes, or setting a time to do it. Like, I find that breaking it down into a smaller task, it makes it much easier for me. Or making the commitment feel less intimidating. So that tends to be how I deal with days where I'm feeling kind of blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Welcome in, Fred Boy. Normally we do play video games here. I do occasionally do a knitting stream. On occasion. Was that? What? Where are we? Where are we stitch-wise? I'm confused. 1, 2, 3... Okay, I'm just gonna go back and redo them. I got lost. I got lost in the stitches. It's fine. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. This should be a purl stitch. And, yeah, so I normally play stuff like Elden Ring, Dark and Darker, Battlefield 5, but I try to always be a very chill gamer. I always try to give people time to talk through what they're experiencing and take in opinions from other people. Because I think it's important to level with other people and, you know, have a good experience without trying to be like, this person said this, and it was the 500th, blah, blah. I don't know. I'm very, very anti-algorithm. I'm a boomer. I'm anti-algorithm. But I don't particularly enjoy doing like super reactionary content. So my streams and content does tend to be a little more on the chill side. Because while I can be a chaos gremlin, and I enjoy being a chaos gremlin, not every day I can't be a chaos gremlin every single day. I don't always have the energy for it. Sometimes I just need to be Grandma Aqwah, you know? I need to be my little retiree self and knit some fuzzy, cute yarn. Don't got the spoons, man. Da, da, da. Wouldn't it be cool if, like... Oh, man. I would be a menace if I knew how to code and I had the patience to learn how to code. I already do art and streaming stuff, so I can't. I've tried to learn coding and software, and I can troubleshoot. Stuff, and I can dig through code bases to troubleshoot, but I do not crave to try and make it myself. It hurts my brain. But I was just thinking about motion controls, right? And I was like, what if someone made a video game where knitting was how you controlled the character in the video game? That would be crazy. And like the motion controls were how you did it. That'd be pretty cool. Make progress on your knitting and play a video game at the same time. I mean, the question would it be like a rhythm game, or would the type of stitch you're using determine how you proceed? How does that work out? Right. Okay, 1. I'm like dropping my yarn all over the place. 2. Do-do-do. And 3. Oh, it's getting a little tight. Getting a little caught. It's fine. It's fine. I think we're also catching up to where we just need to pull the project down. Fuzzy yarn goes so fast. You make so much progress because it's so thick. But I know that this thing is going to fall apart. This thing is not going to survive many washes. Like, I like the fun fuzzy yarns because it's fluffy and it's squishy and it's soft, but this is not going to be, you know, a blanket you hand down to your kids. Which feels very wasteful, but I think it's okay. As a gift, every once in a while, it's okay. I know I have a whole host of so much teal cotton yarn that I need to get back to. But that is a little too large of a project, I think, to knit on stream because it is crazy long. It's like a 90-inch blanket. And I have it all on one set of needles. It's so chaotic, and I've already had to scrap the project once, and I haven't worked on it since like last year. Gets dropped by a UFO made of pizza. What's up, psychos? What's up? Hey, James. We're knitting today. We taste tested some Mazzetta pasta sauce for our spaghetti dinner, and I didn't like it that much. It was okay. It was eh. And then my food got cold because I was knitting, and it got really bad. I was like, bleh. But I'm just having a good time. How are you handling your day? I hope you're doing well. Congratulations on surviving your Tuesday. Doing great. 1, 2. I get to actually play D&D this Saturday. I'm excited about that. It's been, honestly, a couple years since I got to actually play in a D&D campaign. I've been DMing a lot. So I'm in a new group of people that like swap off DMing, which is really, really nice. Chugging soda. Running tabletop and eating pizza. Ooh. What tabletop are you playing? What are we talking? I just organized all my tabletop files and I was so hype. I was like, I have so many. I have the Quiet Year. I have Rapscallion if we want to do like pirates. I got Urban Shadows. I think I also have Vampire Masquerade books somewhere. D&D. But we're reviving the D&D campaign, and the campaign I was working on another group for, that it didn't seem to really suit them because there were some player issues. But I still have all my campaign notes for that. So I am commandeering that for my new group. And I'm like, yeah, we're gonna retcon it and work on it. And it's gonna be good. Oh, and the good news is I don't have to go into the office tomorrow. Because I'm going to have to go in every day next week. And every day after that. Forever. But because of that, I was like, I don't want to lug my computer in. So I'm gonna work from home for the rest of the week until I gotta go in, you know? So thankfully my team's chill. And they were like, okay. Perfect. System a friend of yours has been working on. Hell yeah. Rather than what books will allow. Nice. What kind of character are you working with? What are we talking? I was looking up salamander characters. His Mander. Salamander. Blah, 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 blah. I gotta get, like... in addition to, like, the tongue out, that, like, if I put my tongue out enough, it should just, like, spit fire. Just, like, blah. That's what I need to do with my artistic talents. I gotta make it happen. I think the only tabletop system that I didn't really enjoy was GURPS. GURPS was a little too Sweatlord for me. It was very like, yes, you can do anything you want in GURPS. Like, you can do Modern Warfare campaign, you can do a historical campaign, you can do Supernatural, you can do all this stuff, but it was a little too number crunchy for me. And maybe that was just the DM that I had, but it was still very number crunchy overall. Oh, you just hit my mount. You're DMing in today's campaign, but on Saturdays, I play a half-dragon hunter who breathes fire. Very good. We love some draconic characters. Our buddy Tibbs, in our Baldur's Gate campaign, plays a draconic paladin that is just soaking in radiant damage. I'm a fire in the sun at you. So good. And I'm kind of stealing that for another character in a level 20 campaign for a paladin of light. So I'm going to cast all the light spells. And my level 20 campaign is going to be a... oh my god, words are hard. It's a tiefling... a void sent or void based tiefling. Suf! Hello! Good evening! How's it going? Welcome to knitting. Do the jingle physics of this knit go any higher? I mean, RTX is already on. I don't think my PC can handle anymore. Where are we? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Swapping sides. How's your day going, Suf? I hope it's going well. I hope the babble fields were good. I've been rolling on 5 every once in a while because I've been trying to level up my anti-tank and anti-material rifles in 5. But oh my god. The only thing I really love about 2042 is that the AT rifles are a godsend. They're so snappy and good. But it's kind of the opposite. Like, I feel like I like how the anti-tank rifles are actually better for anti-tank in 5. Like, I can actually do some threatening damage to a tank with the anti-tank. But, anti-material. Trying to shoot a plane is just ugh, nightmare. New donation goal found. RTX jiggle physics on yarn. It was your birthday? Oh, hell yeah. Happy birthday, Suf. Did you do anything good? Get any sweets or anything? I went to a Korean bakery chain. Korean French style bakery chain over the weekend. And Rebel and I got some pastries and they were really good. And I liked not having to make them myself, which was good. But I got a matcha donut. So it's like a basic brioche donut with wow. It was a brioche donut coated in sugar. It was like rolled in sugar after it was fried. And then the inside had a matcha pastry cream. So it was pastry cream with matcha mixed in, and it was like half cut with whipped cream, so it was really light. That was nice. Hey, chocolate cake. I like chocolate cake. I used to not like chocolate cake that much, but I like chocolate cake in small doses. I don't want too much chocolate. I want a little bit. Although I think my favorite is probably a strawberry cake. Strawberry sponge cake is great. Lemon. Actually, no. My favorite cake is a lemon cake. Lemon and vanilla. I'm so glad tieflings are getting the popularity they deserve. I do agree. I think Baldur's Gate kind of made people more comfortable with tieflings, and I am excited for that. It feels like the amount of people wanting to play Dragonborn versus tiefling had like swapped. Oh look, it's the touchscreen finger of shininess. La 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 la. Big nitties. Yeah. You know what they say. Big knockers, big knit. I got my discount yarn. Gotta use it, you know? Got the comedically large knitting needles. Da, 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 da. My music just died. Come back, music. I was listening to that. Could I knit a cape for my cat? I could. She would literally never wear it. My cat doesn't even like being under blankets. She would kill me. She doesn't even like blankets. Where? Okay, there's everything. Although I feel like after Baldur's Gate I like Dragonborns more, so who knows? Maybe that's just a me problem. This is... Wait, oh no. So this is definitely purl, knit, 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 purl, knit, knit. Did I miss a stitch? Maybe I did. Well, once again, did I miss a stitch? Question mark goes back. 1 second, let me undo everything. Although the downside of Baldur's Gate is that people now know how to play Sorcerer, including myself, and now everybody's like, oh my god, Sorcerers are cool, and I'm like, yeah! Damn, now everybody wants to play Sorcerers. Like, the campaign I'm running has 2 Sorcerers in it, which I love. I'm all for it. I'm very excited for it. Which, I guess I could talk about it, but, like, one of my players, they're running a Yuan-ti, which is like a snake folk sorcerer. And the point where we were at, I let them pick some items from the store. It was like 2 common, 1 uncommon item from like a couple of lists. And one of them was literally just a witch's broom, pretty much. And they explained, and I just had a second where I was like, wait, are you going to ride this like a witch's broom? Or are you going to ride this like a snake in a tree? And they went, snake in a tree, snake in a tree. So I just crack up every time that I think about this because I just think of like an open field over a marsh with a very sneaky snake sorcerer just floating along. Like how snakes in the jungle try to like drop people by climbing in trees. Except it's completely not hidden. Oh, that'd be so good. I do agree. I think Dragonborn is too popular with like the wrong kind of role players. But it's like people get obsessed with the power fantasy. I think that's going to be the case for sorcerers, honestly, though. I'm 95% sure. Like, it used to be like your trouble players would be like warlocks or rogues. But I feel like your trouble players are now going to be sorcerers and paladins. I'd hate to say it because I love sorcerers and paladins, but we'll have to see how it goes. I'm actually playing a paladin in my campaign this weekend, so. His name is Sir Hertshear, and he's a 160-year-old half-elf dude who is ripped to the teeth with a bunch of scars, but has like a noble knight background. And he looks very scary and intimidating and talks very scary and intimidating. But he doesn't understand that he's not supposed to be scary. And he just wants to read romance novels, you know? He just wants to read romance novels, mind his business. So, part of his paladin oath is going to be relating to romance novels. And I think that's great. I feel like D5E did sorcerers dirty. They don't feel that different from wizards anymore. Can you tell I'm old yet? I think I can understand what you mean. I definitely think sorcerer doesn't feel that different from wizards, especially considering like the spells that they are able to use are practically the same. But the fact that you can't change your spells is pretty important. And I also think that most players do not understand how to utilize meta magic properly for a sorcerer, or like they feel like it's too overpowered and they don't use it. But sorcerer's whole thing is meta magic, so use your damn meta magic. Use it. Don't you understand? You can cast Sleet Storm as your action, and then cast more ice as your bonus action. And then suddenly, all of your enemies are prone on the ground and slipping and sliding as they try to run to your paladin. Whee! Yes, that's how I'm playing Baldur's Gate. No, I can't take credit for it. I found it like a video guide suggesting sorcerer builds, and I was like, that sounds fun. Because I was waiting for the patch subclass to come out for sorcerer, because I did want to do the sorcerer subclass that's coming out, but it's not available yet, sadly. I underestimated the time that it would take for that to come out. I do think, though, depending on how you're doing... I do think depending on how you are allowed to build your character, sorcerers can get a little OP if you try to, like, metagame it too much. I am not a fan of... I am a fan of standard array. I am not a fan of point buy that much. Point buy can be good, but people can abuse it. So, I don't know. Oh my god. I remember when, like, I played 3.5 back in the day, right? I've played 2nd edition a little bit, like once, and some all-nighter fueled haze of Goliaths and pain. And then I played 3.5 in college, and I liked 3.5, except Ranger was ass. Oops. And then I played 5th edition for most of everything else. I like 5th edition out of everything. I do like 5th edition. I don't know if it was just because I played classes that weren't that successful in 3.5 and 2nd edition, but I like 5th edition. And we are once again at that crux where a bunch of groups are saying, oh, well, we're only going to do 2014, which is 5th edition, or we're going to do 2024, which is technically still 5th edition? Question mark? It's 20. The differentiation is going to be there's going to be groups that play 2014 or groups that play 2024. Like, I don't understand why they didn't just call it 6th edition. I don't understand. Like, That's alright. Sorry if I'm peeking the mic, everyone. I'm complaining about Wizards of the Coast. What else is new? Complaining about Wizards of the Coast? Aqwah? No. I do think it's very funny. Like the hobby specialist dramification is amusing to me as a casual player of D&D, because I think everybody's like, oh, D&D has all this drama and Wizards causing all these problems. Obviously Wizards is causing these problems because there's a lot of people that don't like Wizards and don't like Hasbro for very valid reasons. But I think people over conflate what it is, because it's one of those fields where a good chunk of the content creators are not necessarily endeavoring to create original content, like to create, but they are reacting to news or other people's content, which tends to skew negative. And And I don't blame them for that. That's what does better in the algorithm. It is a much harder path to, like, and not like just emotionally harder. It is a financially harder path to succeed in creating entirely original content instead of creating reactionary content or like skit content, you know? To try and monetize a campaign is a very competitive field. So like for the people that are doing it and doing the damn thing, I am like, go off. You're doing great. Keep doing it. But it gets misconstrued because there's, again, it's very competitive. So you usually only hear about like the big ones there. Whereas like if you're a casual player of D&D and you're just looking up like build guides or how to play a character, you're gonna get fed algorithms of like, Hasbro did this, Wizards did this, blah, 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 blah. Like, that's what you're gonna get. And what most people interact with as like casual viewers. So, and that happens in a lot of hobbies. Like that happened really bad for Final Fantasy. Oh my god, it was crazy. Like Final Fantasy 14 had not a huge community, but had a decent community of people creating content as like tutorials for the game and like how to do stuff or like lore videos. And then when it blew up in popularity, there was such a void for people like creating stuff and a void for like quality content that it got filled with reactionary content. So they're picking the most like memeable tweet on Twitter to like argue over during a stream reaction and in a chat to essentially like kill the content creation of the game, because to succeed, the algorithm is only going to promote the negative content. Like as soon as people start engaging with that and like falling for the rage bait, they're only going to keep promoting it. So you're literally killing a content, like you're disencouraging quality content being made. That's what I have to say about it. Merlin says it's happening to Monster Hunter Wilds now. Tourists are swarming and pumping out trash content. Ugh. I mean, that's the thing is I don't necessarily think it's tourists. I don't. I think it is, for the most part, people who don't necessarily have a very personally invested vision in what they want to create for their content, right? So if you don't know what type of content you want to make and how you're going to make it, and you're just kind of like, I want to make something about this game, and you're hyper focused on just that one game, especially like when you hyper focus, right? Because you're like, oh, I get viewers for this game because it's popular right now. You hyper focus on that one game, and then suddenly the video that does the best is the one where you complain about people arguing on Twitter, right? So then you make more videos about people complaining about arguing on Twitter and arguing with them, and then they're arguing with you, and you're arguing with Twitter on them, and they're arguing with you. And suddenly you have a whole bunch of money, but then one day a new game comes out and people don't care about your game anymore because the community is toxic because they're arguing with Twitter and arguing on you. And oh my god, now you have to find a new game to make your living off of. Because you've ate your own audience. You done it, man. You ate your own audience. Make original works. That's what I get to, okay? Make original works. Have original opinions. I think that's certainly a portion of it as well. Algorithm, yeah. It definitely does, like... algorithms have a very interesting relationship with casual viewership because it very much depends on the game. Like Dark and Darker, if you were to make casual content for Dark and Darker, you're not gonna get much. Like any Dark and Darker content I've made has been like a crime of passion of like, I'm playing this game so much I love it, I want to play more of it. But for the algorithm to share it, it's usually only sharing like sweat mode, but snowball effect, except the snow shit. Don't eat the yellow snow. When did you keep getting suggested making weapon tutorials? Oh, like in-game tutorials? Yeah. I mean, I remember feeling that way too. Because back in the day, your Commander Aqwah here used to make Final Fantasy XIV content. Back in the day. I used to aspire to be a Final Fantasy XIV content creator. And then I realized I don't want to do that. And it was a mix of actually having to interact with other content creators and like seeing not how they think, but like the thought process that goes into what is and isn't content. And also like I don't know how I can describe it. It was like an experience of like getting a taste of like the quote unquote content creator scene for Final Fantasy, and then also like having it be distinctly different from the type of content I wanted to make, as well as also feeling pressured from the YouTube algorithm to make like, here's how you make 1,000,000 gil. What thing? And like there was a point where like I didn't have anything new to say, and I was like, damn dude, I just want to make a fishing video. So I just made a video about how to sell fish, which still does really well. And I guess people still find my channel based on Final Fantasy videos on occasion. But yeah, I think anytime I have directly tried to like trend chase or like follow what the algorithm says does well, I've just always been very burned by it and just put all this effort into it for something that I wasn't really passionate about. And that kind of was like, eh? So I decided at some point I'm just going to make whatever I feel like making, and this channel is going to be whatever I feel like it's going to be, and you guys are going to watch me knit and talk for a while. Sorry. Although I have been considering seeing if I can buy a script and or backing track for an entirety of a Broadway musical as one person. Like, I was like, how much would the license be if I bought a script for Into the Woods and did a 1 VTuber performance? Like, just like one person doing the whole thing, and just like dropped like a 2-hour video of just like audio of me doing Into the Woods. And I'm like, maybe that's too theater kid. Guys, is that too theater kid? But also maybe. That sounds really fun. That does sound fun. I'm broiling it. I'm roiling it in my head. I've got ideas. I've got ideas and plans. But then if I thought about it, like if that ended up doing well, my entire audience would be people that want more stuff like that. And I'm like, nah, dude, that would be like a one and done thing. I would never do something like that again. I can guarantee you. I don't want to become a musical theater channel, you know? I like being variety, and I like being able to change what I do. Because I have ADHD, and I need to be able to change what I do to be happy. Because you can have hobbies and not make it your whole life. And not make it your whole identity. And not have it ruin your thoughts on the rest of the world. You can just enjoy something. And that's okay. There's one dude who kept suggesting to me he used ChatGPT to write the script and then wrote the script. Oh, boo. Boo ChatGPT. Oh, I feel what you mean though. I keep getting a ton of the AI stolen content channels where it's people that are literally just like making a ton of shell channels and then using AI to slap together some mind-numbing task video of like cutting soap or making food or something like that, and or doing a craft. And then on the other side is like a story time video or like a skit video that they clearly stole. And like generally anytime I see the like left video X, right video Y format, I just try to scroll. And it's either that or it's like television clips. So honestly, out of anything, this has been what's been motivating me to make like real shorts again, which I want to go and record this week. Possibly tomorrow after work. I want to try and get back into Wildlands, maybe. Maybe something else. I'm not sure. We'll see how we do. Because, oh my god, the slop. The slop. And I understand, I'm making gaming slop. Like, some people will consider my content just some random person chatting and making dumb jokes. It is... My high quality content is another person's slop, and that is fine. But it is a different thing than literally just saying, oh, I can make quick cash on YouTube by doing this, you know? Because I at least care about it, you know? The person who's stitching together 2 videos with AI, doing an AI caption and an AI voice, does not care about the quality of the content. They just want views. A scene-by-scene reaction to Pride and Prejudice, playing every part. Oh my god. I would do that. I like that movie. I hate to say it, but I like that movie. I gotta get the quote. Such a good quote. You have bewitched me, body and soul, and I love you. Spoken by Mr. Darcy. So corny. Corny. I love the corny. This stream feels like British children's television. Is yarn usually that big? No. This is like comedically large yarn, right? Okay. I also welcome back, Cambo. How you doing? Glad to catch you today. So this is a US 17 size needle, which is considered, I believe, a specialty needle because the largest you can usually get in most yarn stores is 15. Ooh, Mr. Bennett. Yeah. I forgot what I was gonna say. But this is like fingering weight yarn that has then become a giant pad that I've thrown in the wash a couple of times, but it's my coaster. So it's much smaller. I'm using oversized needles because I have a bunch of oversized yarn. It does, yeah, it does. It is definitely British television. I mean, we could change it. I still, my tactical gloves didn't fit, and I have not been able to sew them because it turns out, in a shocking turn of events, gloves are very difficult to sew. So I have these. They're just a little too thick for me to work properly. So the other ones are thinner gloves. Mr. Bennett! Lizzie's getting married! She what now? Married! And I know things now that I haven't before, that I hadn't thought to explore. Do not put your faith in a cape and a hood. It will not protect you the way that they should. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Pearl and 3. Okay. Into the woods and down the dell, the path is straight, I know it well. Into the woods to lift the spell and make it worth the journey. The musical theater is breaking free. We're breaking containment, guys. We're breaking containment. Wee woo, wee woo. They all deserve to die. Even you, Mrs. Lovett, even I. What's the next row? So we are on Pearl 3, Knit 1. Okay. Agony, misery, wealth, though it's different for each. When the one thing you want from her is the only thing out of your reach. Agony, misery, oh, it can cut like a knife. I must have her to life. These are my friends. See how they glisten. My friends, my faithful friends. Would you like a pie, sir? Wait a minute, would you like a drop of ale? 2, 3, knit. It'd be great if I could remember the lyrics too. I don't know, for some reason I've been getting like musical lyrics stuck in my head. It's again, we're breaching containment. We were talking about empty chairs. I can't remember that one. Yeah, I can't remember the melody to that. Listen, I was a Stephen Sondheim obsessed girly, okay? I know most of the lyrics to Into the Woods of all parts. And a lot of Sweeney Todd. A good bit of Company. And I also like the Sundays in the Park with George, though I can't remember that one as well. I'll be gone to Barcelona. Here's to the ladies who lunch, aren't they a laugh? Yeah, I feel like I single-handedly obsessed with Sondheim musicals and did not give two rats' butts about anything else. Because Les Mis was super popular. Didn't remember that. I was really into Phantom of the Opera for a little bit, but I found the story to be cringy in the end. You're part of the crew and stagehand at one point? That's fine. I used to do theater. I did theater in school, and then I had this singular experience of being one of the tallest kids and girls and also being one of the biggest. And I had my director at the point literally say, yeah, so because I finally, like, it was like 2 years of this, and I finally was like, hey, what's going on? Like, can I get some actual feedback of like how I did? And she pretty much said, there's no way I'm ever casting you as anything other than a middle-aged woman because of your size. And I was like, wow. Wow. So then I quit. And then I never looked back. Yeah. And then I quit, and then I never looked back, and I joined a choir that sang Renaissance music in Renaissance outfits, and it was pretty fun. Let me tell ya about childhood emotional abuse. People be cruel, dude. Yeah. And that is exactly why, like, it was that moment that I decided I would literally never judge someone for trying something creative that maybe they don't fit the exact mold for, you know? I thought that was so dumb. Because honestly, I fucking love miscast shows. Which this also probably instilled some of my love of Takarazuka. I mean, also being a bi woman that also likes other girls. Takarazuka is great. It is like Japanese Vegas shows where it's musical theater, but women play all the parts. All of them. Which is great. I love it. Although, unfortunately, it does have some pretty misogynistic backgrounds, but that's not going to stop people from projecting the Yuri onto them. They're going to deal with it. Takarazuka. Narawa tarawa utsukushiku chiru. Yure yurai hare narawa. Akeredo watashi wa meyurai anata ta but yeah, long story short, the acting world is cruel and harsh, and I think VTubing and the internet is a wonderful way to allow people to express themselves and interact with these media pieces outside of needing to fit someone's visual ideal of what something is. Yeah. Welcome to VTuber villain origin story. The villain origin story. And then I joined the military and went into space. They told me I couldn't act, so I went into space military service. Trying to make me walk catwalks? Oh, that's scary. That's scary. We didn't have anything like that. We had, we didn't have anything we didn't have anything fancy. No catwalks, no that. We barely had, like, the one time we had, like, an actual built-up set rather than just, like, space. Which, I love a good space opera, by the way. I really do. I need to watch, like, the classic space operas at some point. Because, like, I've watched Gundam, but I need to watch, like, Galactic Heroes or whatever that one is. There's a bunch of them. The 70s ones. I love, like it is weird because I'm not a sci-fi person. And you guys are gonna hear me obsess about Evantris again. Hey guys. Did you know I listened to Legends of Evandris? I've been saving my channel from the obsession. But like my personal Discord, I just keep spamming them with clips. I'm like, guys, it's so funny. There's literally one other person that watches them with me. But I like listening to their D&D stuff, and I caught a live last weekend. This weekend? Was it like Sunday or Monday? Because they were starting up their series for season 2, Stardust Rhapsody, which is their sci-fi D&D series. And one of the cast members was talking about, because they were doing like a Q&A in the chat, one of the cast members was talking about sci-fi as a setting, because D&D is not typically a sci-fi setting. The core books, and there's not a lot of like supplemental books that are Dungeons and Dragons sci-fi, right? So a lot of it is homebrew and what you make up on your own. And people were kind of talking about how they were surprised that Mikey, one of the cast members, was I mean, I think I missed the part of the start of the question, but he was essentially saying he was surprised at himself for being really invested and interested in a sci-fi story, but that's because he almost doesn't consider the story they're doing science fiction in the sense of like hard sciences and technology, but an opera that happens to be in space, as in a space opera. Does that make sense? But yes, Legends of Evandris is an entertainment company that does tabletop RPG content. They put out a lot of shorts too, if you've seen those. I really enjoy them. Sometimes they can be hard to get into because the sessions that they record, especially for like Once Upon a Witchlight, which was like their really bursting in popularity one so far, their episodes are like 2 hours long, sometimes longer. So I would definitely like hunker down, treat it like an audiobook and listen to it while you work or something. But they definitely get me through like commuting in the work days and stuff. They give me a good cackle too, and also some inspiration for running my own D&D campaigns. So I definitely enjoy that and have been having a good time with it. And I thank them for their dedicated service to entertaining us. But also they did like a fucking 14-hour stream for their return to season 2 of Stardust Rhapsody. And like, I haven't started this series yet, so I didn't want to watch all of it because I haven't been there yet. But they played D&D for 14 hours straight. Madness. Absolute madness. I can't believe they did that. That's pretty rad, but also crazy. But it's so good. I really enjoy their comedy. Also, if you're regionally located on the East Coast of the United States, you may enjoy them because they are also regionally located around the East Coast of the United States, and there's some very specific jokes about the smell of the trees in the spring in Pennsylvania. Why do animals yearn for the bumper? I don't know. Did you hit an animal today? You okay, Greg? What's going on? We be knitting. I think Revel just blended up some ice cream. You did not? Okay. Yeah, I think, and I also think particularly, I would give their, like if there's not a campaign you're interested in or you're having trouble getting interested in it at the first episode, I would probably give them until the second episode. Usually, I think like the pacing and comedy of the series for both of the campaigns I've listened to so far really picks up at the second episode. But if you're looking for something more serious and like RP heavy and like dramatic, I would say, so like the comedy ones are Once Upon a Witchlight and Once Upon a Witchlight and Dimwood Uprooted are good ones for comedy because they're mostly pretty funny. And then Stardust Rhapsody, I would say, is like some comedy, some drama. It's a little bit of both, which I like. And then the more serious ones, because I have like my Spotify autoplay will keep going. And I'll just start listening to something while I'm doing something else. So I've listened to like at least a half an episode of Icebound and some of Edge of Midnight. And those are both like more serious ones. Icebound is like hardcore survival. So the campaign literally starts like, you're freezing to death and dying. They almost wandered into busy traffic. No. Well, I'm glad they didn't get hurt, but yeah, animals do be doing stupid stuff sometimes. Two, three. You got ice cream? What flavor is it?
Strong.
No, he's trying to show the ice cream. It's very overexposed.
Still, it shines in the light. It's very strong.
Yeah, no, pistachio syrup wasn't it. I think if you're doing it, you should use like pistachio butter. I want that on coffee. You should put that on espresso. Ice cream. I give this ice cream a 7. What's Fun of Witchlight? I thought it was funny. It was just mostly comedy. Yeah, I think Witchlight takes a little bit to get more serious. I think once, like, Witchlight takes at least 10 episodes to get more serious. It's mostly them goofing around, but when they have the threat of, like, actual combat, I think it gets better. But I've been really engaged in that series and want to see how it goes. I also, if you are interested in, like, the premise of them, I believe Witchlight is based on a D&D core book. Also, they did Curse of the Strahd, which apparently was pretty popular. I haven't gone back and listened to that. So yeah, if you ever wondered what Aqwah listens to during her work days, it's that or corny romance books. I guess I can share. I gotta finish listening to it. I hope my library didn't return it yet. My phone. Never mind. I can't tell you what I've been listening to because I don't know where I put my cell phone. Well. Oh, never mind. I know what it is. It's a book called My Roommate is a Vampire. And guess what it's about? A girl whose roommate is a vampire. She is an artist based in Chicago and ends up moving in with a vampire who just woke up from like 100-year coma and has to teach him about the world. And they have a romance going on. Which I have been enjoying that part. I just think that the fact that she's an artist, I don't know how I could describe it, but she's a 2D, 3D visual artist, the character, and the way they described it and the way she talks about her own personality and work makes me feel like the author is like projecting some insecurities. Definitely. I'm like, I honestly had a point where like there is no grown adult that is living and working in the arts professionally and like submitting their artwork for shows that is constantly still feeling like, oh, my work isn't good, I shouldn't submit it. Like, there's no way. That's so unrealistic. The vampire being the roommate, that I can believe. But you not having the confidence in your own work to submit it to shows as a 30-year-old woman? No. That felt That was the most unrealistic part to me. They haven't boned yet, though. When are they gonna bone? I wonder, it's so far, thankfully, it's not one of those books where, like, they don't bone, I think. Or at least it's not one of those books where it's labeled as a romance novel, and then they, like, have flirtatious scenes throughout the whole book, and then the book just ends when they finally fucking kiss, and they don't actually resolve any of their problems. Looking at you, shoujo manga. I'm looking at you. TTRPG and Cyberpunk. I've heard a lot of people really enjoy the Cyberpunk TTRPG because I know it was still pretty damn popular before the video game recently that came out and the TV show. So I do recall that. Because it's based on that, right? I'm pretty sure. I just personally thought that the cyberpunk genre, as far as sci-fi goes for me, doesn't have enough dramedy in it. It's like too edgy. It's too edgy. Shit. Shit. Oh shit, I've been knitting this wrong for like a while. Crap. Crapola. I had a second where I was like, wait a second, I don't think this is the right pattern. I've been knitting a row off. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but I feel like the Cyberpunk video game... Is it weird if I say that the Cyberpunk... Was it 2042 is the game? That everybody came out and that had trouble running, that I have, that I couldn't run, and then I just gave up because it was going to make me puke. Because it was making me nauseous. But I feel like... Cyberpunk 2042 felt... like, I don't know. The best way I could describe it is Cyberpunk 2042 felt too much like a straight white man. And I don't normally say stuff like that, but it felt like everything was kind of viewed in that lens regardless of how you wanted to play the game. I don't know. I don't have a good explanation for it. And I don't like that explanation, but I don't have a good explanation for it, dude. It's like too edgelord. I'm gonna have to list games that don't make me sick rather than ones that do. Dark and Darker doesn't make me sick. Battlefield doesn't make me sick. Peglin doesn't make me sick. Some dude cyber PP malfunctions. Yeah. I think maybe my hangups on that are because again, I couldn't really play the game how I wanted to and enjoy it. So I think a lot of my hangups about the vibes of the game are really based on the fact that the marketing for it was very targeted. So that makes sense why I would have the target audience in mind as the vibes of the game. So yeah. Anyway. La 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 la. La 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 la. It goes around and round like la 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 la. It glows like meow meow meow. Shadowrun table take 7. What? A 7-Eleven? Merlin, this is fantastic. If I hadn't just gotten an insane amount of DM books and gone fully over my yearly budget for that. Shh, don't tell Revolt. It was a good deal though. It was a bundle. 2, 3. This needs to be a normal stitch. I would do that. I would absolutely play that. But I got a bunch of like DM guides with like tables and stuff because that's actually helpful for me. Like story starters, things like that, NPC names, all that stuff. I did get a book called Goblins and Goblins. It's an entire book dedicated to campaigns, scenarios, items, and player characters about goblins. Well, goblins, but the PDF name itself is Goblins and Kobolds, so maybe kobolds are included. Goblin and Goblin taste nuts! Oh, she's stuck. I did talk to my neighbor today and established that many of my neighbors have outdoor cats. So unfortunately, the outdoor cats that walk up to my door, I cannot just take. Apparently. Even though they're super friendly and sweet. And fluffy. And so cute. So cute. Bummer. Is how stealthy you are? No! No, I'd feel too bad. It's free cat estate. Yeah. I mean, I got free birds. The previous owner of our home, I guess they like nailed some like small, what's the word? Like these things. Bins. They nailed like some small bins to the underside of the awning on our porch. And they're just big enough for a little baby bird's nest. Most birds are free. That's what Revold said too. They don't tell you birds are free. You can just take them. But yeah, there's like 3 little blue bird eggs in one of the nests that I got a picture of. That's pretty cute. But it's right in front of our big window, so my cat just sits there and will stare out the window, and she's very happy about it. She gets to see the percentage of birds and squirrels my cat gets to watch. I don't think she even thought that many birds existed in the world. I mean, I don't think she thought, but it just like the amount of birds that show up at my house are insane. It literally feels like a bird watcher's paradise. There's just birds fucking everywhere. Also woodpeckers. Oh my god, there's woodpeckers everywhere. They're like... It looks like someone shot buckshot into the trees at our house. Because there's so many woodpecker holes in this like ancient oak tree. Or maple tree, I think. Yeah, it's a maple tree. Not an oak. I think after stream, I'm gonna make... I think I'm gonna, like, pull a couple of shots of espresso. Like 3 or 4. I think 4 makes sense. I'm gonna, like, pull 4 shots of espresso, and then I'm gonna make instant coffee. Milk. Like, milky instant coffee. Mix that with some heavy cream and make, like, a coffee ice cream. I think that could be good. It could be good. 1, 2, 3. Need a third. Oh, guys. Revold loves me. He showed me today. He loves me. It was like, I got you a present. And he showed me his phone. And it was 24 cans of Mountain Dew Kickstart. 24! Yay. Because they were out at the grocery store. So I was very happy about that. It's been our go-to, we don't want coffee breakfast beverage recently. Because it's not as caffeinated as an energy drink in most cases. And it has vitamins. So it's refreshing, but not too jittery. Caffeine. I'm still, like, I wish Panera sold their papaya green tea in, like, powdered form. I would buy that shit so fast. Because it's so good. I would chug that. But, I don't think they do. I haven't seen them selling any of their, like, drinks. Because they know that people go to Panera half the time for the drinks. Except they don't have the caffeinated drinks anymore. Because, you know, people died. But, I feel like it's not the same. Yeah. 2... 3... How do you guys like my virtual granny's knitting corner? Because I'm too anxious to go to the library and knit with people, so obviously I just stream it on the internet and talk at people. Guys, did you hear the hot goss today? Susan said that her apple pie was better than Carol's, and Carol knows that her husband snuck a slice of the apple pie? No, we're talking about actual apple pie here, apple pie. At the 4th of July picnic, and oh, if you would have seen the look on Susan's face, oh my god. I'm sure that the pastor will be hearing about that at confession. Gasp. Bless her heart. Le gasp. So, at some point in the future, be it this weekend or start of next week, we'll probably get some Minecraft content, so that's good. That's fun. A friend of mine is going to be starting up a server. It's not going to be public, it's just going to be friends only, mainly because the server can't handle that many people. But we are putting together a mod pack to play some of the Create 6.0 update for Minecraft mods. We're going to be sending people packages in the mail, and we have like 1,000,005 Farmer's Delight mods on there. And there's a bunch of adventure mods that seem pretty cool. I checked out the single player version of the mod pack that we put together. It seemed good. So hopefully I'll be able to stream some of that next week. Maybe, depending. It seems like Hobo's been dealing with some work stuff, so we'll see how that goes. I'm not the server admin. If it's ready, when it's ready, we'll play it. I'm just grateful that someone is hosting it. And it seems like it's fun, because I kind of had the itch to play Minecraft again recently. It is time. And I'm so ready for that. It'll be good. Two, 3 over. Give myself some distance. And 4. Yay. And back to pearls. How far are we towards the edge of the line? Not bad. We'll wrap up after this this row. I feel like we've gotten like 3 rows done. That's not bad. Not great, but it's not bad. Considering this is a pretty wide project, that's not too bad. And I get distracted by talking, and then I start talking with my hands because I'm incapable of not talking with my hands. I wonder if it would be worth trying to set up hand tracking so that you guys could see like the when I didn't have this set up. But I think I would need another camera for it. I don't know if I want to do that. I got a new light for this. And I do like that. That's been good. Oh, guys, look at my D&D dice. Dice show off. Look at the dice. Look at them. Look at the beautiful dice. Dice, baby. Dice. And look. I gotta shake it. They're liquid core dice. It's like sparkly. Well, these aren't. These are rose quartz dice from Revel. But all my other dice are liquid core dice. Though I think these are probably my favorite because they're the shape of the actual die on the inside. So they look really nice where it like pools. And I had gotten these from the same company that makes these. But I gotta shake the shit out of it. But one sec. Revel wants to show the cat. 1 second. But these, the dice on the inside, the core is circular, whereas it matches the other one. Okay. Okay. We're giving a cat. Panicked cat. Oh my gosh. That was Revel's hand. Dice. So sparkly. Yeah, these are my favorites. My favorites are the gold ones and the gray ones, probably. Oh, they're so pretty when you just throw them in. Lubo! But yeah, so I've been using 11. You get an 11. You decide what the 11 means. You decide. Did that meet? Did that meet or beat? But this is my e-ink tablet. I can show that. I've really been enjoying writing on it and drawing on it. And there's smooching. I don't think I can show anything else, but because I don't know what personal info I have on there. But it's really nice, and I have a little a Lamy Safari pen that goes with it, so I can draw. Although that's not showing up there, because this is where the light focuses. Why a D12? Because that's the one I grabbed. You can, on a D20, you rolled a 2. You rolled a 2. Oh my god, maybe we should just, like, RP at the end of the stream, like one of those, like, fortune players. Like, you know, it's how's this Tuesday going for everyone? How's everybody's Tuesday going? I hope you're doing well. We're gonna be pulling some rolls of fate today. The fates are going to be in your eyes and your stars. Thank you for those blessings, Merlin, James. Thank you so much. Hope you were all blessed by the stars today. Let's have a roll. What did we see? There's a little off camera there. Oh my goodness, it's a 19. 19 stars are with you today. Now, for those of you that do not have Mercury in retrograde, we're gonna give another roll with the lunar D20. See how many stars are in your fates today. Now, it seems like it's not good. Not good. We got a 2. So Mercury in retrograde, folks, you guys are doing great. But it seems like it's bad times for the rest of us. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. Thank you so much for the blessings. And hope you're doing well. I can't do any more of that, guys. I can't. Oh my god. I don't know. I just get a lot of those, like, TikTok live, YouTube live shorts, like tarot card readers. It just feels like people just fucking rolling D20s on a page. And then we draw 3 tarot cards. We draw from the deck of many things. I want to draw from the deck of many things. It's a D100 on a 22 or 32 card deck. I don't have a D100. Well, I mean, a D10. What's my D10? What the fuck is a D10 again? I'm a DM and I don't know what a D10 looks like. It's a 90. And 91. Alright, so we got a throne card. What does that mean? You gain proficiency and expertise in your choice of history, insight, intimidation, or persuasion. In addition, you gain rightful ownership of a small keep somewhere in the world. However, the keep is currently home to 1 or more monsters, which must be cleared out before you can claim the keep is yours. Do you hear that, guys? We own property! Don't ruin the campaign like that. What campaign? Are we running a campaign? Are you guys tracking every single dice roll that I've made on stream since the beginning of time? Ominous dice roll. You don't say what it applies to. It's just, the DM just rolls a dice and goes, huh. Ah, yikes. Anyways, for completely unrelated to Dungeons and Dragons things, I think that's a good way to go. But good, look, we didn't die. We didn't die from the deck of many things. It's fine. Let's just say you're level 5. I'm level 5! What class am I? I mean, I think a sorcerer. I think I'd have to be a sorcerer. I don't know. I've been told a sorcerer, maybe a bard. Maybe a fighter. I don't think I would be a warlock. If we had to make a Commander Aqwah D&D character, take these attributes and alchemy-like turn them into a D&D class. Although I guess that would depend if you're like playing to type or not. Because you don't have to play a character to type. You know? My paladin that I'm playing this weekend would be better suited as a warlock if we're talking based on backstory and theme, but I think it's funnier if they're a paladin. Ranger? Oh shit, you're right. The 3.5 Ranger. Can I be a Baldur's Gate Ranger? I like those ones. Or a rogue class sharpshooter. That's also acceptable. Oh, why does that feel weird? Alright, let's see. Ah, it's catching the other loop. That's why. Ta-da! So this is about how far we've made it today. I was really only like 2 rows in. So we made about like an inch of progress in 2.5 hours? 2 hours and 45, 2.5 hours I'd say, because I ate. Yeah, we'll get longer as we go. I like the pattern so far. I like how it's looking. I don't know how it's gonna look because I don't really see a diamond pattern, but we'll see. Maybe it'll be more apparent as we do more of them. I see a little bit of it. Like, I kind of see that it's not as, like, ribbed rows. It's a little more, like, bulbous up here. So we'll have to see how it goes. But anyway, that's probably going to be it for the night. 3.5 Ranger, so broke they spent 2 editions trying to nerf them. Yeah, that sounds about right. Sounds about right for Dark and Darker Ranger as well. Anyway. Thank you very much for hanging out. Seriously, I am so lucky that people are willing to come and hang out and chat with me while I just knit and ramble for 2 hours. It is a joy, and it is a way that I can socialize without feeling very overwhelmed. And I am happy to have some time to work on my knitting. And I am excited to come back, hopefully, probably, maybe this weekend. Again, I've been feeling kind of like, recently, weather and work and life. So I'm trying to at least make sure Monday, Tuesday, we are streaming something for some period of time, even if I don't feel like great. But we're sticking to it, and I'll be back. Keep an eye on the Discord, and I hope that everybody has a wonderful evening. Thank you so much, and take care. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, bye-bye. Where's the right window for me to exit? I don't know. I'm covering the stream by the deck of many things. Oh no. Bye-bye now. Bye. Bye. Bye-bye.